Hello everyone, this is Benjamin Ramirez. I'm going to get into a few small pawn structures. Before getting to the pawn majority, I figure it's important to understand like what a winning pawn and king looks like first, versus a drawish one and another drawish one, and also then I get into this, and then something extra that I learned that I wanted to share with you guys. So here we go. Let's continue from here. Let's continue the computer. Let's do stockfish 8. Alright, so for here, since you have enough space in opposition, if you move your king forward up one, the king would have to defend here or here. It is like probably the best for black, even though it's still losing. And no matter which way he goes, you can go on this diagonal. Now, if he went over instead to e7, you can go king to c6. So because he went to c7, you can go king to e6. And the idea is to clear up this diagonal. This is what you're trying to clear up. And if he goes back, you can bring your king to e7, and it will block it, and he can't get any closer. So you can move up. He didn't move back, so it's just a clear win. That's basically all you have to do if your king's in front of your pawn. That is it. Okay. And I wanted to show you the other one as well. This right here is actually drawish, and I will explain why. There's a big difference between this and the other one. The reason why this is drawish is that no matter where I go, the king can just go in the same direction. I cannot force him, I cannot move up one and force him to the side. I have to go to the side myself, and because I have to go to the side, he can literally just mirror me, and it will not work out. He might have other moves as well, but that's all he has to do, is mirror me. And I can't make any progress. So therefore, if I move my pawn up one, I get into a different situation to where now my king cannot force his king out of the way. I can try, but it will end up in a draw. Like, you see, my king can't push him. So let's just continue. So this is a draw. It's a stalemate. Because you can't force it. And because of that, this is obviously the same thing. I am starting off behind. This is why you want to start off in front of the king, in front of the pawn, I'm sorry, and having enough space to push the king around. Now, because of that, let's continue from here. Computer. I'm gonna go with a 5 because I probably will lose against the 8 because there's a lot more. It's a lot more advanced than that. But for what I'm doing, I don't, what I'm trying to explain, you're probably not going to get this exact pawn structure. You can have 4 to 3 in different ways. But to be very simple and for the purpose of this video, I just wanted to first explain king and pawn winning, and then basically how to go about it. You can easily just move your king in front to start off, and then start moving your pawns, because you already know how to win with a king in front of your pawn. So the idea here is basically to trade off the pawns until you have one pawn left and your king's in front of your rest. That is a very simple strategy that you would win, instead of learning massive amounts of specific pawn moves and why. This is the best thing you can do, is basically keep your king in front of your pawns and trade them off. So that's what I'm doing here. This is a passed pawn, so I can just go ahead and try to win with that pawn. Now you see here, if I wanted to, I can move this pawn. If there was only these two, I can move the pawn up one. He would have to move out the way, and then I can decide to go if that was the case. But because this pawn is here, I can't do that. I mean, this one here. Okay. So now I'm going to have to go ahead and continue a little bit differently, but the same idea. Now I can let him take this pawn because I can make a queen, and that's basically game. He can try, but he's not going to make it in time. That would involve counting moves and so forth, but you can see obviously this is much closer, so you can obviously see that. And that's basically game. I don't have to continue it. That's basically game. If you know how to, I'm pretty sure you know how to checkmate with a king and a queen. So this is the one that I really like. Let's go to 8. Now here, this is something that was a bit more advanced I learned a long time ago. I only did this twice in the past like 2 years, so it's not super important to learn. But the way you win with this is you move this pawn forward, right here. After he captures, you do not capture back because that would be a draw. What you want to do is move this pawn forward. And the reason why you move pawn forward is because if this pawn moves forward or captures, you obviously take and make a queen. If you move this pawn forward and he takes this way, you can make a queen that way. And that's basically it. It's really that simple. And you can just win that way. But this isn't super important to memorize because, like I said, I only did it twice in games. So, and that's basically game. So I hope you enjoyed the pawn video and what to do with a pawn majority. And basically with a pawn majority, you want to trade pieces. If you have more pawns than your opponent, you want to trade pieces so you can get into a similar situation that's very easily winning. Alright. Hope you enjoyed. You can like, subscribe, and share with other people who may want to, who are interested in the same information. Alright, thank you.